It's a national poll which shows Kamala Harris with a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. But here's the thing. Thanks to the founding fathers, it's not a national election. It's a collection of state elections. CNN senior data reporter Harry Enten is with us this morning. That's why these swing states are so important, not the national polling. What is the latest on where the swing states stand?
Yeah, I don't really give a hoot about the national polling. It could tell us about trends, but not much more. Look, these are the battleground states, right? These are the 7 we've been looking at. We got 4 weeks to go until the election. Look, the Great Lake battleground states, as close as they've been. Harris by a point in Pennsylvania, 2 in Michigan, 2 in Wisconsin. Way too close to call. You come over to the right side of the screen with me. Sunbelt battleground states. You see more red on this side of the screen than blue. We do see Harris up by a point in Nevada. Again, way too close to call. Trump by a point in North Carolina, Georgia, 2 in Arizona. This has been the consistent story since Kamala Harris got into the race, right? That is that she has done better in those Great Lake battleground states. She has closed the gap in the Sunbelt battleground states, but still friendlier terrain for Trump than those Great Lake battleground states.
How confident should anyone on earth feel that these numbers would actually stick?
Okay, so I consistently say this race is too close to call. So I decided to go back through history, okay? And this to me says everything. How much do the state poll averages miss by, all right? The average error since 1972 in the close races in those battleground states we've been looking at, 3.4 points. 3.4 points. Every single state, all 7 of those key battleground states are within 3.4 points. What's the chance for an even larger error? You know, we talk about the margin of error, right? So what is that 95% confidence interval? What is that true margin of error? 5% of errors in state polling averages are off by more than 9.4 points. These battleground states are well within that. I want you to remember this number because the bottom line is this race is going to be too close to call almost certainly all the way to Election Day. It's definitely going to be within this interval, and it's most likely going to be within this interval. So the bottom line is the state polling averages tell us what it tells us is it's just a race that is too close to call. Maybe one candidate has a slight advantage over the other one, but the bottom line is it is way too close to call, and it will remain so.
Superimpose all of this really important information that you just gave us on the electoral map.
Yeah, okay. So let's say the polls are exactly right. If the polls are exactly right, Kamala Harris gets 276 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 262 because she carries those Great Lake battleground states despite losing North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona. But let's say we have a polling miss like we had in 2020. What happens then? Well, then Donald Trump wins the election in a blowout with 312 electoral votes because he carries all these Great Lake battleground states, plus Nevada, plus the other states he was leading in, Arizona, North Carolina, and Georgia. But 2020 is just one election. What happens if we have a polling miss like 2022? Well, in that particular case, now the winner has flipped again. And Kamala Harris wins in a blowout with 319 electoral votes because she retakes those Great Lake battleground states, carries North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona. So the bottom line here is, yes, we have those state polling averages, but the real thing they tell us is that this race is too close to call. We're probably not going to know who's going to win for another month and perhaps another month and change.